Hey everyone, my name is Cyprienne and today I'm going to be showing you how to make the Chill Out Montero cup cozy. I have seen these all over social media and I actually never really understood what the hype was about. I thought, yeah, that's cool, a cup cozy with a bottom. But it wasn't until I actually made them, I can't tip this too far or I'll spill my coffee, that I have become addicted to them. I use it every single day with my coffee. I don't drink a lot of cold drinks. And typically you see these on ice cap cups, which I'll insert a picture here. And they do look super cozy. And I do have an appreciation for the fact that they would absorb any condensation in the summer when your hands get all, wet from the drink. But we are not into hot weather yet here in Ontario, but probably when it is, I will appreciate that too. But they'll also keep your car cup holder clean because a lot of the time, coffee will spill over. I have a little spill on this one here actually because I've been using it for quite a while. But anyways, yeah. So I'm going to show you how to make this one, and then I'll be having this one coming up in another video. And another cool thing, and I want to know the answer to this, so I figured I would do a test myself. I bought these thermometers and I'm going to do a test and I'll post it up here on YouTube to see if these cozies actually do keep your drinks warmer or cooler. My husband says they do. I can't really tell. I want to know. So if you're interested in seeing how that turns out, be sure to subscribe so that that goes into your feed when I get that done. So all you need for today's tutorial is a 5.5 millimeter hook and some worsted weight yarn. Now this is a pretty large cozy. It fits a large to extra large cup. So with this pattern, because there's a base to it, the easiest thing to do if you want to make it smaller is to use a smaller hook. Now I have not done that, but by the time I post this video, I'll make sure that I do. And in the description, I'll be sure to tell you the measurements of how that turns out. So today I am going to be using the Loops and Threads Capri Eco Cotton for my cup cozy. I have also made them in the Bernat Handicrafter, and if you're Ontario, I got this on clearance for $1 from the Oakville store. So I was pretty excited when I found that. So I bought a few of them. And one thing I want to mention is that the different yarns do make a change to the size of the cup. So this is the Eco Cotton and this is the Bernat Cotton, and you can see the size difference there, but they still fit a cup, large to medium. This one is still going to be too big for a small, and I said large to medium, large to extra large. Apparently I need to drink more of my coffee. So I think that's everything that you need to get started. There'll be a blog post as well that you can go to if you prefer to read the pattern. And of course it will be available on Etsy and Ravelry. So I'm going to provide all those links below. Okay, so as you may have guessed, we're going to start this pattern working from the bottom up. And if you know how to do a magic circle, by all means start with that. But if you followed me for any amount of time, you'll know that I have written my patterns and do my tutorials by the chain 2 method. So we're just going to start with your slip knot and chain 2. And then we're going to work 6 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. Now I like to crochet over my tail, and I'll show you what happens when we do that. So let's go ahead and work the first 6 single crochet into the second chain from the hook. And you can see I'm turning and I'm just working over that tail. I'll probably fast forward here. One, two, three, four, five, and one more. Okay, so that's our first 6 single crochet made, and all you need to do is give that tail a little tug and that will close that circle. I have never gotten the hang of the magic circle, so I'm not about to try and teach other people how to do it. Okay, so moving on to round 2, we're going to be doubling our stitches going from 6 to 12. So you're going to do that by increasing in every stitch by working 2 single crochet. I I hope it's getting warm where you guys are and that you're gonna have lots of use for these. It's actually kind of fun too, because if you have family or friends over, you can give them all an individual color and then everybody knows whose drink is whose. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I will work 2 single crochet into each stitch around, and I'll meet up with you at the end of this round and we'll go on to round 3. Okay, so I just finished round 2 and double checked, and I do have 12 stitches. So let's go ahead on to round 3, and you'll be working 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet in the next, and I'm going to go ahead and slide in my stitch marker, and then you're going to do 1 single crochet in the next, followed by 2 single crochet in the next. So this is your pattern repeat for the entire round. We're going to be increasing this round by 6 stitches. So at the end of this round, you will have 18 stitches. Okay, so let's go ahead. So you're going to do work 1 single crochet followed by 2. So I'll go ahead and work that round and we'll meet up at the end of round 3. Okay, so I have double checked that I have 18 stitches, and so the next increase round, what we're going to be doing is working a single crochet in the first 2 stitches. Just put this back in here, and then 2 single crochet in the next. So if your counts are correct and you're doing things correctly, the increases that we do are going to be done in the increases below. So you can see there's 2 stitches here and 2 stitches here. So that's your pattern repeat for the entire round. You're going to work a single crochet into 2 stitches followed by 2 single crochet in the next. So I'll go ahead and finish this up, and at the end of round 4 you should have 24 stitches. Okay, so I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, so I've just finished that round and I have 24 stitches, and this will be the last increase round that we're working for the base of this. So go ahead and we're going to work 1 single crochet into the first 3 stitches, and I'll just slip my stitch marker back in there. There we go. And then it's twisted. Okay, and then 2 single crochet in the next. So this is your pattern repeat for round 5. Just work 1 single crochet into 3 stitches followed by 2 single crochet in the next, and again you'll be working your 2 single crochet into the one below that has your 2 single crochet. So I'm going to finish this round and then we'll meet up. Okay, so I just finished round 5, but before moving on to round 6, we're going to place 1 extra stitch in the last stitch. So instead of having 2, you're going to actually have 3 stitches. And the reason that we're doing that is because when we get into this textured part of the cozy, we need a repeat of 2 plus 1. So we need to put the extra stitch in there to account for that. Okay, so moving on to round 6 through 10. So for the next 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5, 5 rounds, I still count with my fingers, we're actually going to be working a single crochet into every stitch around, and that's all that we're going to be doing until round 10. And what that will do is just build up the base of the cozy. So it'll come up to the side here. Like, I guess I should hold it like that, like this here. So you can go ahead and work those, and then we'll meet up after round 10. And also be sure that you keep counting your stitches, because if you add or subtract any stitches or drop stitches as you go, it's going to end up changing the size of your cozy. So just make sure that if after every round of single crochet, you have 31 stitches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and catch this up. I need to find something to watch on TV. If you have any recommendations, I'm totally open because I'm running out of shows to watch. And yeah, so I'll finish that up and we'll meet up at the end of round 10. Hope everything is going smoothly for you guys. Okay, so I've just finished round 10. Double check that I have 31 stitches. So moving on to this textured part, we're actually working this part with the wrong side of the cozy facing us. So let me show you what I mean by that. So what you're going to be doing is working a slip stitch, joining it with a slip stitch, chain one, and turn your work. So now this is the wrong side or the inside of the cozy. So when you're working those textured rounds, you're going to be working continuously, but it's going to be this side facing you. If you find it easier, you can flip this inside out and work that way. So the first thing that we're going to be doing in the first stitch, now that is your chain stitch, so you're going to work right in here. We're going to do a half double crochet into that stitch. Then we're going to be following that with a slip stitch into the next, followed by a half double crochet, followed by a slip stitch. So if you have ever worked the crunch stitch, this is basically what this is. But what I've done, instead of joining and turning, we're just going to be working it continuously. So we can go ahead and finish working this round and we'll meet up and I'll show you how to move on to the next one. Okay, so I'm at the end of this round and you're going to be ending with a half double crochet and then moving right into the next one without joining or turning. You're going to start working a slip stitch into this half double crochet here, which is the first stitch from the previous round. Then you're going to work a half double crochet into the slip stitch, and you can tell it's a slip stitch because it's a shorter stitch. So we're just going to work a half double crochet into there, and then a slip stitch into the half double crochet, and you can tell it's half double crochet because it's the taller stitch. So that's the pattern repeat for this round, working a half double crochet into the slip stitch and a slip stitch into the half double crochet. So we'll finish this round and meet up for the next one. So that's how you're going to work until you finish round 15. So with each round that you do, the most important things that you need to remember is that you work your slip stitches into the half double crochets, which here are the tall stitches, and the half double crochet into the slip stitches, which are the shorter ones. So as long as you're consistent in doing that, then your texture is going to line up properly and it'll go off onto a slant like this one. So for each alternating round, you're going to end with a half double crochet for one and a slip stitch for another. So I'm going to put the instructions above and I'm going to go ahead and work to round 15 and then we'll meet up and start the second part of the texture, which is just single crochet. So I'll go ahead and do that and then I'll meet up with you after. Okay, so I have just finished to the end of round 15 and the next thing that we're going to be doing is just joining with a slip stitch, chaining one, and turning our work. And I'm going to flip this right side out. So you see that beautiful texture that we made? I just love that. So the next 4 rounds are super easy. All we're going to be doing is working a single crochet into each stitch around. So you can use a stitch marker to mark these, or it may be getting easier for you to count your rounds. So I will leave that to you, but for now I'm going to slip that in and I'm going to do 4 rounds of single crochet in every stitch. So I will pop that above and then we'll meet up to finish the second part of the texture. Okay, so I just finished my 4 rounds of single crochet, and we're going to move on to the second section of the texture stitch. So if you remember, we're just going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and turn our work. And I like to turn mine inside out. I just feel it's easier to work that way. And then we're going to start off in that very first stitch with a half double crochet, followed by a slip stitch, followed by a half double crochet, followed by another slip stitch. So that is going to be your pattern repeat, just the same as the last time, all the way around. Now you should be able to work 4 rounds continuously this way without joining or turning. If your count is right, everything will go smooth, and what'll happen is at the end of each round you'll either end, like one round you'll end with a half double crochet, then the next a slip stitch, and so on. So I'll pop the instructions above, and you're going to work 4 rounds of the texture, and then we'll meet up to finish it off. Okay, hope you're having success. Okay, we are almost done. So I am just going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. I'm going to put this right side out. That is looking really nice. I love this green. And all we're going to be doing is working 3 rounds of single crochet. I'll do that, and then I'll meet up with you, and I'll just show you, where did my cozy go, how to do this little scalloped edge. And there's my little coffee stain, so I'll just move that there. Okay, so yay for us, we are almost done. All I'm gonna do is join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and turn. And the last round is actually the same texture that we've been working. So a half double crochet, oops, this one's really tight. Half double crochet, followed by a slip stitch, and you're going to work that texture all the way around. A half double crochet, followed by a slip stitch. So if you're not sure how to fasten off, you can join me at the end of this round and I will show you. Otherwise, I will say goodbye for now. I hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial, and just to remind you, I have another one coming up. This is actually, very dirty. This is actually the same texture as my Rainer beanie, or my Rainer slouch hat, if you've ever made that. Anyway, that one will be coming up in another video along with the temperature test. So if you want to stick with me, I'm just going to finish off this round, and I'll meet up and show you quickly how to fasten off and weave in your ends. See you soon. Okay, so I am just going to join with a slip stitch, chain 1, and I'm just going to pull that tight. Make sure that you trim your yarn long enough to be able to weave in the ends. And then we'll just show you quickly how to weave them in. All right. Now, when I weave in my ends, I like to go through the middle of a stitch. So when I weave in my ends, I like to try to go through stitches that have the most resistance, because that tells me that it's going to hold tight. So what you don't want to do, and this is what I used to do when I was learning to crochet, is I would weave in and out of these open spaces. That's no good because it just comes out. So I like to weave in the stitches and go in a few directions. And that's it. So that is your cozy done. If you want to share with me on Instagram, I'm at Pretty Darn Adorable. I no longer have a Facebook page, just been hacked too many times, so I've given up, but I am on Instagram. So that is our cozy, and I love that green. I actually might do this next tutorial in the same green. And with the red and the cream, if you celebrate Christmas, you can actually see the size difference there between the yarns, but they look pretty. Anyways, that's everything for today. I'm going to put some videos that YouTube has recommended for you up here next to try out. And remember to subscribe if you want to see those videos that I told you about. Okay, thanks so much for stopping by, and until next time, bye-bye.